We will be working on Google Cloud Platform, and we will be making use of free credits of Google Cloud Platform. So I'm going to console.cloud.google.com. So this is the URL in case you are console.cloud.google.com. So this URL you can go and you can actually log in using an email address which you have set up in the setup video. So you can just log in through that user ID, Gmail address. So just be careful whenever you are working on the exercises, use incognito mode. I have used incognito mode. So reason for using incognito mode is so that when you are using a particular Gmail account, it is not interfering with your personal account that you might be using. So this particular account is having free credits. So in case you want to use your own personal account and you have free credits, no problem. But I suggest, as one of the best practices, if you are working with multiple Google accounts, then use incognito mode. So this is one important point that you need to remember. After that, once you basically log in here, so let's do it. So once you log in, you will get a dashboard, and this is Google Cloud Platform dashboard, and here you can see which all APIs are running, what are the project related details, and here you can get the storage buckets, and you can see the status and billing and other information. You can get this information here. So now you can see the project is by default already selected, so I'm not doing any change there. So what I need to work on Google Cloud Platform is I want to work on big data clusters. So I want to set up those clusters. I want to install few technologies which are not there. So I'll be doing that, and then I will be configuring those technologies, and then we will be running our exercises, our hands-on examples. We will be building our pipelines on Google Cloud Platform. So this is what we want to do in this course. So for doing it, let's see how can we do that. So I'll just go to Dataproc. So I'm making use of Dataproc API here. So I will be going to Cloud Dataproc, and I will be enabling this Dataproc API. So what is Dataproc? So Dataproc is a product of Google which allows you to run Hadoop and Spark clusters on Google Cloud Platform. So that's the very high level overview about Dataproc. And similarly here also you will see that it manages Hadoop based clusters, and you can run your jobs on Google Cloud Platform. So I'm enabling this API because we want to work with these kind of clusters. So once this API is enabled, then I will be able to create cluster. If I go here and if I go to Dataproc, sometimes Dataproc is not visible here. So in that case, you need to scroll down and find out where is the Dataproc. I have already pinned Dataproc. If you go down, I have already pinned Dataproc. I'm just going there again. So Dataproc, I go down further. I have already pinned it. So that's why it is appearing on top. So can you see I have already pinned. If I unpin it, then it's not here. But if I pin it again, then you can see Dataproc is here. So Dataproc is here. It's easy to find. So that's why I have pinned it already. So I'm going to clusters. And here you will see an option to create cluster. So this option will come only when the API is enabled, and we just enabled the API. And now we are clicking on create cluster. So here we are making use of Google Cloud free credits. So that's why we will be creating a single node cluster. So this course is more specifically focused towards running some pipelines, and even if we have single node with sufficient number of cores, then we should be able to execute most of the technologies that we want to cover in this course. So I'm picking up, let's say I'm saying my let's say Data Couch is my cluster name, and this is my company name also. So that's why I'm giving the cluster name, but you can give any name, that's okay. So here this is Data Couch, and we have region we can pick any region. So let it be like this. I'm just choosing US Central 1, and I'm not changing it. And then I'm changing the cluster mode. So cluster mode, I'm saying I need 1 master and 0 worker. So there is a single node. So that's what I'm choosing right now. Apart from that, I will be making changes in the other configurations of the cluster. So if you see, we have standard 4. So I am choosing the machine as 16 vcores and 60 gigs of memory. But if I try to create cluster with this much amount of memory, so it will start giving problem because I'm using free credits. So let's try with this 16 vcores and then we'll see if there is any issue. So this is 200 gigs. Apart from that, we will be going to advanced options, and we will be looking at the components that we want to select. So we will be choosing these components here. So let's do it. So select components, and we are interested in Anaconda. Anaconda is a distribution of Python which is very helpful in doing data science, in performing data science. So we are choosing Anaconda here. I'm also choosing Jupyter here. This is also very helpful. But rest of the things I am not choosing right now because these are not required for the time being. So later on, when we are installing Kafka, then we will look into Zookeeper. We will use Confluent Zookeeper. So that's why I'm not picking this particular Zookeeper version. So I'll be just moving ahead, and I will say that enable access. So I need to enable access to the API. So let me see, where is that option. So I need to give access, enable access to web interfaces of default and selected option components. So I'm enabling this also. Now I have selected the required components and I'm creating cluster now. So let's see. It says that insufficient CPU quota. We are requested 16, available 8. So you can see we are using free credits. So that this error I wanted to show you. So that's why I'm going back now. I'm fixing this issue. So let's go back and let's reduce the number of cores. So I just choose 8 vcore now and 30 gigs, and then I am now saying create. So when I do create now, it should be successful. So there is no error related to quota. So I am creating a cluster, one node cluster. This is called pseudo distributed mode. Pseudo distributed mode means like there is only one machine where all the processes of Hadoop, Spark, Hive, Kafka, and many other technologies will be running inside this machine. Yeah, so there is only one physical, we should say this is one virtual machine running, and all the processes will be running inside this. So I'm just waiting for this cluster to come up. I'm refreshing the screen so that I can see whether the cluster is up or not. It's still taking time. So now the cluster is up and the status is running. You can see now we can just go inside the cluster and we will do SSH on this cluster. So before we do SSH, I just wanted to show you like when we create this Dataproc cluster, actually in the compute engine VM instances, if you go, you will find that the machine is already created, and this machine is master machine. There is only one machine. So if you are creating multi-node cluster, then you will get multiple machines here. So we are getting only one machine here because there is only one node cluster. So I'm just doing SSH on this particular machine, and then I will be just showing you like what exactly is already there in the cluster. So it is doing SSH. So can you see, this is so convenient. We don't have to install any putty, or we don't need any private keys to actually log in. So it's just an embedded utility, SSH utility, that we can use, and we can just go inside the cluster. So if you see, we have HDFS. So I'm just writing HDFS, then it shows me all the options which are available. So that means HDFS is already there. If I write yarn here, so you can see yarn related things are already installed. So that's the beauty. So if I just use Spark-shell here, so this should also start working. So there are so many things already pre-installed by Dataproc, so we don't have to go into the administration part of setting up cluster. So in case you are interested in knowing like what is happening behind the scenes and how the cluster has been set up, so we have another course for that, and that particular course is like setting a single node CDP cluster. We are also trying to add some multi-node related functionality into that course. So but for the time being, if you are interested to know how the cluster has been set up, so we have a separate course for setting up cluster on GCP using free credits. So you can use that also. Yeah. So hope this is fine. Let me come out of it. So I just got HDFS, Yarn, Spark, so whatever important technologies were required, so they are there now. In the subsequent exercises, we will be making use of multiple technologies. We will be working with Scoop, we will be working with Yarn, we will be working with Spark, we will be working with Jupyter Labs, we will be working with Kafka, NiFi. So many technologies we'll be using. So we will be looking into those technologies in subsequent sessions. But for the time being, if you're good, you have created the cluster, then we are fine. But at the same time, you must remember to shut down or terminate these machines in case you are not using this. So I would highly recommend go back to your Dataproc cluster. So whatever machines, whatever clusters are there, select this cluster and do the delete. So in case you are not using it, yeah, so do delete it, confirm, delete, and then it is gone. And also, as a best practice, you should delete any storage buckets. You can go to storage browser, and whatever buckets we have in the storage browser, you should delete those also. Yeah, select this and delete the buckets. So this will ensure that credits are not being charged. Anyhow, we are using free credits. We will not be upgrading our account. So even if you are using trial version, we don't want your credit should be wasted. So that's why we are just recommending you that. So you should be deleting your virtual machines also. So one thing is stopping a VM. Another thing is terminating a virtual machine. So when you stop a VM, then you are not paying for the compute, but you are still paying for the storage. But if you are terminating a VM, then you are not paying for storage as well as not paying for the compute. So it is recommended, if you are not done with everything, you don't want to reuse that VM again, you can just simply terminate it so that nothing is charged, even the free credits are not getting consumed. Apart from that, you should also disable the API. So just go to the API, you just go to the API, and here API services, API and services, you will find which all APIs are there, and you can just see the traffic, and you can go to the dashboard and see like which APIs are consuming what kind of things. So you can just disable these APIs so that this is also not consuming anything. So just this as one of the best practices, just disable these APIs when you are done for the day. Yeah, so these are the things that you need to take care. You don't have to set up anything for like say working on cluster. So that's why we are recommending you to use this.